And it officially begins. It is Saturday, August the 29th, and we have just begun the West Highland Way. So our plan for today, I think we're looking at what, maybe about a 13-14 mile walk, I would say?
Yeah, I thought it was closer to 17, but okay.
17, we shall see. Our original plan had actually been to camp just after Balmahar at Millerrocky campsite. However, a couple of days ago they contacted us to say that due to storms earlier on in the week, they were actually cancelling all the reservations. So we're having to adapt and survive. So we're going to be wild camping just before Connick Hill, which is a first for both of us. So if you find this footage in the woods, then you know what happened. We are about 5 miles in now, aren't we, I'll say?
Yeah, about that.
Yep. Starting to get really, really warm, so I know this top's going to come off soon. We just had a nice dicey 10 minutes walk along the main road there. But now we're starting to hit the hills, we're starting to get into the really, really nice scenic area. So we're just coming up on Drimmen, and then we're only a few miles away from where we're gonna pitch up the tent for the night. The weather, absolutely glorious. Not too hot, not too cold. We've just stopped off just to refuel for an hour. Feeling re-energized and ready to go. Obviously, because we've got a shorter day, that means tomorrow it's going to be a long walk, quite strenuous. So we're discussing the possibility of actually just having our bags collected and taken to the next destination, which we think, given we've got Connick Hill and we've got to go through Balmahar all the way on to Bindglass Farm, it's probably going to be the sensible option to take. So
walking along the banks of Loch Lomond is a lot of scrambling to do, so it'd be quite difficult with these heavy backpacks.
Yeah, Chris is familiar with this because he's walked the West Highland Way before, so I'm trusting his judgment. If we both die, it is on this man. Right, so these are the, and I may be pronouncing this wrong, the Garabadden Woods, and this is where we're going to be wild camping for the night. I've read this is a very popular place to wild camp. We basically just keep walking through to the end of the forest. There should be some nice spots on either side of the path. Right, so we're here. We're going to be camping around about here. Everything else going along up through Balmahar, Cashel, Salakey, Roadennan, through to Tamkin Lodge. These are the non-camping zones, or you would need a permit. So because we're staying here, we actually fall just within the acceptable area. Right, so it's been about an hour walking through Garabadden Forest, and we've come to the end just before Connick Hill, and there couldn't be a better place to wild camp. This spot is absolutely perfect, so we're going to pitch up here. It's 4:30, so we've got loads of time before an early start tomorrow. It's a very, very long day tomorrow, walking from we're walking from here over Conic Hill through Balmaha, where we hope to get a luggage transfer, and then we're going to walk through to Beinglas. So we know it's going to be a big day, so this gives us a chance to rest up for as long as we actually need before we start. So let's get the tent pitched. Alright, we are leaving Gardaban Woods after a fairly restless night. It was really quiet, but I didn't sleep very well. First time in a tent in a long time. But it's 7:15 in the morning. We now begin our ascent up Conic Hill. And how is that for an early morning view? So despite the lack of sleep last night, I'm actually feeling pretty re-energized. Feet don't hurt, my shoulders don't hurt, which surprises me because they were very sore last night. So I'm feeling raring to go actually. Do some Lucozade, but we're going to hit Balmaha, go to some shops, get some supplies, sort out our bags as to what we want to go ahead to Beinglas. We have about a 23-24 mile day, so we're under no illusions it's going to be tough, and we know this is a tough section. So we've got strategic spots where we're going to take a break every so often, refuel and then push on. Don't really expect to arrive in our destination much before early evening, maybe 6 or 7. But if we have views like this, then it's just going to be worthwhile completely. There's the path up Conic Hill. I'm really excited to take this on. And Conic Hill, here we come. That's some view. When we started in Milngavie yesterday, there was the inevitable crowds that we kind of had to work our way through, groups of hikers. But after a couple of hours, it really died down, and we've barely encountered anyone who hasn't just been a day walker out with their families. We have this entire trail in this section to ourselves at the moment. It'd be quite nice to have it for the entirety. I can't foresee that happening. It's a bank holiday weekend, but certainly a lot less people than I would have expected, particularly as all the campsites have been fully booked, and that's caused us problems. But so far we've had the whole place to ourselves. Really can't underestimate the power of just being out in this landscape. You're the only two people around for miles, and you've got the crisp morning air, got these amazing views, and it just does you the world of good. I was actually quite tired yesterday, so I didn't do a lot of talking, didn't film that much, but today I'm feeling reinvigorated, got these amazing views. I know there's going to be even better views to come along the way. It's the start of day 2. I know it's going to be a long day, but I'm looking forward to every single second of it. That is a view. Right, so we'll be heading into Balmaha shortly once we make our way through these woods. Now restricted camping, so no going back now. So going up Conic Hill is much easier than coming down, because there's not much of a path to come down on. There's a few man-made steps here and there, but we also had a lot of people going up that we had to battle through, but we're moving away from the crowds now. So we're leaving Balmaha. We've dropped the bags off. They're going to be taken ahead onto Beinglas for us, so we're feeling much lighter now. We've bought food, water, we're all set for the day. We know we've got a lot of miles to make. We don't expect to arrive till about maybe 7 or 8, but that's fine, that's fine. The shores of Loch Lomond. I've become very aware that I'm walking a hell of a lot faster than I was 24 hours ago, so makes things so much easier. You never get tired of views like this of Loch Lomond. Even though we're walking right along a main road right here, we've got this on the other side. So it's just gone 11:30 and we've made really good time. Huge difference because we're obviously a lot lighter now. And we're both quite fast walkers, so we're actually coming up on Roa Ardennen. So I think we'll actually hit Beinglas with fairly reasonable expectations. So tranquil and quiet. Right, 2k left. So we're a little behind time. It's just gone 12:30. We thought we'd arrive about half an hour ago, but that's okay. Right, we have just left Roa Ardennen. Not much there, just a pub. So it really didn't seem worthwhile filming anything. So we've just departed. We've got about 13.5 miles left. We head up to Beinglas at Inverarnon. That's still a lot more mileage than we've already done. We've only done about 11 and a half at the moment, so we've still got a big day ahead of us, but positive spirits.
Yeah, it's not like we have to do another 3 or 4 conic hills.
No, exactly. So I actually thought Conic Hill was quite straightforward, truth be told. So how are you feeling in terms of, obviously when you did it with your dad, you did it over a couple of extra days, so how do you feel the last day and a half have gone? The slight hiccup aside with the camping.
It's a lot easier than I remember it so far. I think my dad and I struggled the first time because we were carrying heavy backpacks and we didn't decide to use the courier service until we hit Roa Ardennen. Right. So that section we've just done, when I did it last time, I was carrying a lot more weight. Right, okay. Without the extra weight, I remember it being a lot easier. Yeah. So I'm feeling a bit more optimistic about these next 12 miles or so. Yeah. With that in mind, the terrain is a bit more uneven, and a bit more challenging, but this is doable. Positive mindset, Chris. Focus. Exactly. Yeah. Over the next few days, is there any part of the walk coming up that you're not particularly looking forward to, from past experience? The old military road coming out of Beinglas Camp, leading into Crianlar. Last time I was there, couldn't even call it a road really, it was just a broken path of rubble and despair. Alright, so we'll be tackling that first thing in the morning then, but you wouldn't have had that when you did it previously because you didn't stay at Beinglas, did you? No, by the time my dad and I had done that, we'd already walked about 20 miles. Yeah. On what was, I think, the hottest day of the year in 2016. So we were already... Normal times. Yeah, and I've got better boots. So hopefully that will be easier. Also, the descent from the Devil's Staircase coming down to Kinloch isn't a barrel of laughs. I'm actually looking forward to that because I'm just twisted that way. So. Yeah, but you know, I prefer going up rather than going down, and it's just very uneven. Well, not even. It's a lot of loose rubble and slates and everything. It's a bit hard on the knees. So, but once you've got that done, it's a fairly easy walk to Fort William.
Yep. Dead ahead, just through the trees, you can see the iconic outline of the cobbler. I don't know if you can see it with my finger pointing. Oh, it's so clear. Would have been a great day to have climbed that. Would you like to lead? Well done. So I haven't actually filmed for the past couple of hours because the stretch from Rowarden onwards to where we currently are, it's quite gnarly. It's a lot of walking along the edge with a bit of a drop down. So having the camera in my hand wouldn't have been a practical idea. Need to be aware at both times. But I actually quite enjoyed that. It was a lot of scrambling. I did a bit more adventure to it rather than it just being a flat path. Spyglass, finally. Oh, it's 13.5 hours. To say we're exhausted is an understatement. Just need to get the tent set up and get some sleep. Spyglass, I'm so happy to see you. Good morning. We have just left Spyglass. Our destination for today is the Bridge of Orkney. Yesterday was an interesting day. 31 miles in 13 hours. Got to the campsite just as the sun was setting. Neither of us were in a particularly good mood, and it's not something I would recommend anyone to do. Fortunately, our circumstances kind of dictated it at that point. So walking from before Conic Hill through all the way to Spyglass, that's just suicide, man, particularly with that rather infamous section after Rowarden. The problems there were exacerbated by the fact that we'd had storms earlier in the week and trees had fallen down across the path, so we were essentially having to monkey climb through branches just to actually stick to the path, whilst being careful not to fall back and potentially break our spines. So it was an interesting day all around. I don't think I'll be jinxing it by saying from here on in it would be much more straightforward. And the bridge is where exactly? Downstream? Improvise. You know what? I'm not even going to bother with that because I can see my foot going through that and actually snapping my ankle. So I've been thinking back over yesterday and if there's anything that we could have done differently, and I'm not sure under the circumstances and the amount of time that we had that we could have really made any substantial changes. Certainly when it came to the wild camping aspect, the last place that we could wild camp before the management zone was just at the base of Conic Hill there in the forest. And unfortunately there weren't any permits available, there were no other campsites that had any pitches, and certainly at the time of checking none of the B&Bs in Balmaha or anything actually had any accommodation, though we did find out from the old lady who ran the B&B where we dropped our bags off yesterday that she actually did have room the night before, so that kind of stung. But yeah, I think we just did the best that we could do, really. It's not something I would advise for anyone. I'm sure there may have been a better way to have planned it. Plus having our bags taken to Pine Glass campsite basically meant we had to get there, so it's been a valuable experience. It was a tiring one and we did it and we are proud of that, but you just have to adapt to these circumstances. But I absolutely would not recommend to anyone that they even attempt a 31-mile day, particularly with that section of path. We are now on the old military road. So it's just gone 11:30. We sat and had a rest for half an hour. We're making really good time at the moment. Just covered about 6.5 miles uphill in about 2 hours. So we're going a lot faster than we were yesterday. Surprised because we were both kind of worried that we wouldn't have the energy today, but we feel absolutely fine. So we're heading onwards. I think we're making good time today. Right, time to grab supplies. This is very handy. We have 1.5 miles left to Tindrum, so we have made some excellent time today. We're well on track to, I would say, hit Bridge of Orkney around about 5:30. And then we've got much more time to relax and unwind than we did yesterday. And we've just left Tindrum. We're on the final stretch to the Bridge of Orkney, where we'll stop for today. We're making great time. We should arrive around about 5:30. It gives us a few hours to rest and relax. We'll go out for dinner. after the drama of yesterday, just the views as we have them right now more than makes up for it, and they're just going to get better as we go. You made that a little more complicated than it was. This is how you do it, Chris. And you jump. Ta-da! The Bridge of Orkney. It's exactly 5 o'clock. We have arrived at our destination for today. We made absolutely fantastic time. So that's 3 days done, 60 miles in the bag. Tomorrow we walk 17.5 miles to Kinlochleven. So we say goodbye to the Bridge of Orkney. Look at these views, absolutely amazing. We're rested up, we're raring to go. We've got 21.5 miles, I was slightly wrong about the mileage yesterday, so we're heading on to Kinlochleven today, which is our destination. I'd like to say for anyone who's doing this walk, they stay at the Bridge of Orkney, stay at the Stance Cottage B&B, they give you free cake. I don't think there's any way of doing this successfully without causing it to all come down, so I will contribute my tiny little rock somewhere it's going to be less like Jenga, I think. I should place it here. Anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely adore dogs, and it's with a very heavy heart to say that we've actually just found a dead dog by the side of the road. Sad times. So it's just gone 9:30. We are about halfway to King's House, making really good progress. As you can see, top has come off because it's warm. So we're currently walking along quite a barren stretch, but we're surrounded by beauty as always. King House is coming into view. I'm actually quite relieved because this has been a very, very long stretch, pretty much right from the start of the Bridge of Orkney all the way through. And as jaw-dropping as the scenery is, and it is jaw-dropping, the path is quite hard underfoot. There's a lot of stone, a lot of gravel, and I haven't really suffered too much with any pain in my feet for the past few days, but this path has really started to put that to the test. So it'd be nice to get back onto some soft turf. But those views, I mean, you just get so distracted by it that you end up just forgetting about the pain anyway. And we've made absolutely fantastic progress this morning. We're ahead of schedule. As you can see, there is no rain yet. Right, well, we're about to say goodbye to all of this, to this magnificent view, and begin our journey up the Devil's Staircase. You can see it winds all the way up there. There's people up there at the moment. We'll go all the way up to the top. Onwards and upwards. Whew, that was a workout. Alright, so we are now winding our way down off of the Devil's Staircase. That was quite a climb up. Had the wind and the rain, but that kept me cool, so I was happy about that. And now it's just the complete opposite. It's just nice and calm. And we're only maybe 90 minutes to 2 hours away from our goal for today. So yet again, we completely smashed it and arrived earlier than we would have expected. So penultimate day, and tomorrow Fort William, and this adventure is over. Sun peeking through in the distance. One of the things I've really enjoyed, particularly the last couple of days, is just how removed you do feel from the everyday. Like, it only just occurred to me that it's now the 1st of September in a completely different month. I had to actually think about what day it was as well. You just forget about everything. You're out in the hills and it's just you. You don't think about the work. You don't think about the hustle and bustle of the city or the town that you live. It's just it's cleansing. But views like that absolutely blows me away. Let's just take another look. I need to soak this up. And here we are, Blackwater. That was exactly 9 hours that took, and it's just over 9 hours. In fact, it's 4:45. Perfect timing. And that is us for today. It's a great effort, I think. So we leave Kinlochleven for the final stretch to Fort William. Today is the day. So as you may see, there's a lot of uphill first thing, and we're still not done yet. But that is an amazing view. Mist across the hills. It's about 7:30 in the morning, so but I imagine it's going to be alright for most of the day. It's a weird feeling knowing that maybe about 6-7 hours time that'll be it over. It's been feels like a long 5 days, but also feels it's gone really, really quickly, knowing that I'm going to be back home tomorrow. So if you had the choice of doing this again, would you do it over 5 days? Saying that we stuck to the itinerary that I originally planned, but without the hiccup at the start.
No, I think 6 or 7 days is a better pace.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend anyone to do it over 5 days.
Except the hardcore like us. Yeah, 6 days, 6 days. Really excited to cross that finish line, see the man on the bench, and just feel proud that we achieved it, and we achieved it in 5 days. So, whew. Any final thoughts? Anything you would do differently apart from changing the days?
Yeah, I think we should have used the courier service immediately from Milngavie. I think if we had done that, we would have been able to get to that lovely B&B at the foot of Belmaha.
That's true, actually, yeah.
At the foot of Connachthill, and then that would have given us more time on Sunday just to do
that horrible stretch.
And we would have got into Banglass maybe at a bit more of a reasonable time, about 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was when the campsite cancelled. It was the Thursday, and I checked on a few other places, phoned around, and there was nothing available at all. And then the B&B that we dropped our bags off, the lady actually said, "Oh, we had a room last night. You should have given us a call." Oh, great. So
it's always a good idea to go and take the website's word for it. Always,
yes.
Maybe try calling a few places up.
Yeah. Well, I did. But funnily enough, actually, Miller Rocky, who were the ones who cancelled, as we walked past, there were people pitching up, but there'd been a couple of solid days of sun at that point. So just don't give up and keep trying. So, but wild camping was the first for both of us, and it actually went quite well. So
yes, we saw both sides of it.
Yeah, it was yeah, we did. We saw both sides of it. It was probably one of the least stressful days that we've had. I mean, day 2, by comparison to every other day, was a freaking nightmare. Obviously, the mileage that I've been noting while I've been recording obviously isn't the exact mileage as you would see in the guidebooks, because we're accounting for getting to places, for baggage drop-offs, going getting supplies and stuff like that. So that's basically an all-round mileage throughout the day. So although it would have been 31 miles for us, assuming no one has the same problems that we did, it wouldn't obviously be that for you either. So but yeah, I mean, it's can wholeheartedly recommend this trek for anyone who's ever interested in doing it. The views are incredible. There's a lot of I think don't be too complacent about thinking it's all going to be level, because it's not going to be level at all. And particularly the last couple of days, it's been very rocky underfoot, and that will take its toll. So good pair of boots, You don't need to worry too much about hydration because there's always places along the way that you can stop and fill up your bottles. Honesty boxes, we only really saw them the first day, didn't we?
Only the first 2 days, really.
Yeah, so kind of once you're making your way through from Milngavie through to Drimmen, Balmahar onwards, you'll get some honesty boxes there. But after that point, we actually haven't seen any. So food supplies, maybe stock up prior to the morning that you're leaving. But in terms of water, you're good to go, you're solid. So we just had a barrage of wind and rain for about the past half hour. Now it feels like we're in the Highlands. I loved every single minute of that because I'm crazy and I'm a winter person. Chris, don't think he's enjoying it so much. But as someone who always runs warm, I'm more than happy to get rained on and cooled down. So I loved every moment of that. This feels like the Highlands with all the mist. We are finally off that very long stretch. That was good 2.5 hours. We're starting to come into some woodland now, I think. So we've been walking for about 4 hours now. We left at 7, it's just gone 11 o'clock. Trying about an 8.5 hour walk to Fort William. So I think we're probably on course to actually arrive around about 3 o'clock as we thought we would. So fingers crossed. Getting close, a couple more hours and the journey is over. I'm kind of sad because my adrenaline is really going right now. I think Chris is struggling, but I'm getting quite excited. I have 2.23 miles left to the centre of Fort William. My adrenaline is going. Chris's adrenaline is
I like my...
it's somewhere.
I like my wee cape. I feel like a wee superhero.
Yeah, you do. The adrenaline is going. We're so close now. So close. Feeling... I've been in a really good mood all day. I mean, the rain and everything just did not bother me. It's all part of the journey. I'm just buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing to get to that end. Know that I've completed it and completed it in 5 days. Chris is looking pretty weary ahead of me. He's having a few problems with his feet, but we've both done really, really well. And it's 20 to 1. We should get into the town centre in about 20 minutes. So we left at 7 this morning, so that's 6 hours that took us. So, I'm just feeling awesome, feeling awesome. Maybe so, but that's not where we're going. Less than half a mile. We're so close. And we are done. We're at the end. I am feeling absolutely amazing. I've had so much energy today, and now it's all come to an end. Which I'm kind of sad about, but I'm really, really proud of what we've done in 5 days. Okay, so I wanted to do a little closing speech at the statue back there, but there were people eating their lunch and fish and chips and Greg's sandwiches, and it just kind of killed the mood somewhat. So we're just sat outside our hotel. I'm feeling so happy, so elated that we've done this. 96 miles in 5 days, obviously a bit more for us with circumstances, over 100 miles in 5 days. My first real big trail, and I'm feeling just so overwhelmed, and I've just been on a high all day getting this done. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for Chris for all the amazing photos. If you want to check out his photos, you can go onto the Instagram page. There's a link for that below. It's Hike Begins at 40. It's exactly the same. Amazing pictures. This man has a hidden talent and he doesn't know. He's shaking his head. He's shaking his head. It's just been such an amazing experience over the last 5 days. Lots more adventures to come. So like and subscribe. Keep checking back in. Let me know what you think of the videos. If there's any questions about the West Highland Way, just thoughts on how we did things, ways on that you may do things, and I'll see you for now.